Hi, have you ever missed a pin drop before? If so, tune in because we have a top 8 tips to catch a grail. Hi everyone, this is Terry here with Julie, and today we're going to talk about our top 8 tips to catch a grail. Are you excited about it, Julie?
I am so excited. I know how hard it is to get a grail sometimes. So any tips that I can get on how to get a grail, I'm all for it.
I think, of course, all our suggestions are flexible. As you finish watching the video, please comment below if you have any more tips so we can keep helping each other in the community. I know more recently, now more than ever, there has been a lot of great pins that have been coming out. For example, there was a recent, Rapunzel profile that just came out that everybody went crazy for.
And then pretty soon, Belle, Designs by Jen Bell, will be coming out, and then Pocahontas. And I'm also feel like she said that she's not doing any drops in the month of December.
Which I'm totally okay with. Any creators who don't want to sell in December, by all means, don't do it. It's the holidays. Let us save. Let us get gifts. Let us trade amongst each other. Get back in the game in January. We'll be ready to spend then all our Christmas money.
I think it's what, an LE75?
And it was an LE75. I didn't catch that grail, but I've gotten others in the past. So just stick with us as I go through the list.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Number 1, be prepared. What I mean by be prepared is when you are looking for a pin, what are people in search of? What are people in search of? A creator likes to post what pin will be dropping at their featured shop drops, or what their pre-sale pins are going to be. So I highly recommend, once they release that artwork or that pin, check out their stories. They always like to put how many, like they always repost people's in search of. If they post it as a post on their profile, check how many comments and likes they have. When you see the reaction, that should give you an idea of the demand for that pin. So it also gives you an idea of how sought out for, and maybe you can predict what your chances of getting that pin are. Do you agree?
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I haven't really ever thought about that.
No, that's why I'm here.
That's a good tip. That's a very good tip.
So also, for example, once the pin drops, you'll always see in the stories who is in search of, who is for trading. And then you also want to do your research at that exact moment in time when the traffic is the highest, because those people you want to like profile stock, see what they're in search of, and see what they're trading in order for you to catch your grail.
I like it.
Perfect. Number 2, do your research. That's also going along with be prepared. But by doing your research, what I mean by that is, when do the pins drop? Know the schedule. You want to set alarms. You want to mark your calendars. You want to recruit friends to do the same, because the higher odds you have, the more chances you have at getting that grail. And this is also if you are at work, for example, and you have a pin friend that's not working at that moment in time. I would nudge them in the shoulder a little bit, like, hey, Julie, are you off today? I'm not, so come on and help me get this grail. She's like, okay.
Now, Terry, along these lines, how many times have I been like, oh, what time is that shop drop? Because I am like the least prepared.
And this is true. I have at least 2 of your pins.
I feel like I'm the worst at this. And even last Friday, I was like, what time is that shop drop? And you're like, it's tomorrow.
I'll send you a screenshot proof this real actually happened. Okay, let's see. So another part of the research is to plan ahead how a creator's sell works. Not every creator sells the same way. Some people like to drop a PayPal link in their bio. Some people like to put it in their website. Some people require you to be logged into the website, while some people don't require you to be logged in. So every creator is very different, and you want to know ahead how that creator works. So either reach out to the creator or talk to other friends in the community who you know are familiar with that creator, so you can get some tips and tricks on how that creator's site works.
I did the Poppins pins the other day, and I was like, and you get so nervous, your heart is beating. It's like part of the thrill of the pins. And when you're not used to doing it, I forgot. Like afterwards, I was like, oh, I should make notes on how that went. So my little note to add to that is, once you've done it, even if you don't end up getting the pin, make a note. So that way, the next time that you go back, you can look through it beforehand, and that you're like, okay, if I click on here, this is what is going to then take me to this point, because it's the last thing you want is, because you're fumbling because you can't remember, that you miss out on the pin because of this. So
it's a good idea. Oh, also, let's put it to 2A. 2B. Having anxiety or your heart racing is totally normal. You're okay. You're going to survive. You either come out winning, you come out losing, but stay positive, go trade. Somebody will have your pin, and you will find it, whether it's today, whether it's next day, whether it's 3 months from now, you will find your pin. Okay. Number 3, early is on time, and on time, you're late. You lost the pin. Mm-hmm. You always, if the pin drops at 3:00, you want to be around like 2:45, 2:50, 2:55. You want to make sure that you are prepared. In some ways, you want to make sure, like if it's PayPal, maybe you want to be logged into PayPal in advance, so that when you click on the link, you don't have to put in your username and password. If you, for example, if it's a creator that requires you to log in, you might want to, when they open their website, some people have their website already open, make sure you just log into their website, because that's just only going to help speed up the process for you. And if you're on Instagram, for example, for the people who put the links in the profile, you want to be on their profile. You want, whenever 3:00 comes around, you just hit refresh, click the link, and go. You don't want to be on another page and then scramble on the search bar the creator's username.
Oh yeah, no.
And then you're too late.
So another tip that I have is, if you have an iPhone and you're on Instagram and you go to your creator's account, there will be, if you go to their website through Instagram, on the upper right hand corner of your phone, there will be 3 little dots, and you click on it, and it will allow you to open that link under Safari. And by opening that link under Safari, a button will come up that will say autofill. So when you're going to buy your thing and it's already in your cart, if you click autofill, it will fill in your name, your address, your state, your country, all of that for you. So that way you're not sitting there trying to buy and then typing in your name, because at that point, we all know you lost out on the pin already.
Number 4 is budget. You want to plan for the cost, and you want to learn the value. So, for example, I like to set a personal rule or a goal to not spend more than X amount of dollars. We don't want you to get bankrupt. So we want to make sure, if this is your Grail, or if this is one of many Grails, that you set a goal or set a rule and try to stick to it. Mm-hmm. And we're doing this for your safety.
And pins are always fluctuating, right? Like eventually, maybe 10 years.
You never know.
You never know.
Pre-quarantine and during quarantine, for example, we recently saw a Sally Pop made by Yo-Yo that was going for $600, $700, $800. Recently is very close to selling at the $200 mark. Mm-hmm. So always be open-minded, have your goals set, know what your limits are, and I highly believe that you will find your grails.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Let's see here. Number 5. Do you like the pin? Now, this is important because there's going to, by doing your research, you'll see that there's very sought after pins, or pins that people really like. So this is easy for you to predict what pins will be popular. But maybe if you're new, we don't want you to get stuck with a pin that you don't want, that'll be impossible to sell, and that you lose what you spent on it. So if you're buying a pin that's a grail for trade, you make sure you like it. So, because if not, you could get stuck with it. That's my number 5.
I 100% agree with that. I have several pins in my collection that I'm like, it's not moving.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Number 6, make time and be active during the drop time. Again, you want to schedule yourself to be available, and you want to make sure you make preparations in advance. Some pins, or many of your grails or popular pins, will sell out in less than a minute. So this is when the people are most alert and active. Again, this is all going back to, you want to make sure you're seeing who bought the pins, who is trading. Post your traders in the search of as soon as possible, because that's when the stories are hot. And you want to do that within 5 or 15 minutes of when the sale happened, because that is when the traffic is the highest.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a perfect example. At a Yo-Yo Pop Metal, I couldn't get a Padman pop, but I got 2 Queen Amidala's during the pop battle. I was reading the comments as soon as the sale happened, and I happened to find somebody that the same thing happened to them, vice versa. They were able to snag 2 Padmes, but no Amidala. So me and her are going to be switching a Padme and a Queen Amidala. And it was that easy and that quick. So low-key, stalk other people's profiles, their comments. And the reason I also say that is because you want to see their engagement, their activeness, like how active are they in the community. You want to make sure that this person's also accountable.
I like what you're saying about, like, for instance, if you already say that, just in case you don't get the pin, you're like pre-ISO. When I have gotten a pin before, I literally have gone through the stories of people who are in search of, and I'm like, oh, hey, I have this pin for in search of, this is what I'm looking for. So if you already have your traders like on your thing, then someone literally can go through and are like, ooh, I want that pin. It just seems to make life a lot easier.
It really does. It's very efficient for everybody.
I like it.
Okay. Number 7, you won't get them all, and that is okay. Again, be active, network, build rapport with yourself, your profile, your community, make friends, and you will find it. Sometimes even your friends are there to help you. And a lot of times I have friends that'll just forward me stories of pins that I like. Julie does that to me all the time.
I'm like, oh God, am I annoying her? But when I saw that cute little Binks cat, I was like, oh, you know who would like this? Terry.
Yeah. I mean, I had never seen that pin before, but now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
People quit jobs. People quit jobs. People have left jobs. People lose jobs. But people don't quit people when it comes to the pin world. So again, when you have that community, and I would highly recommend make some pin friends, because then you'll have somebody who's always out there to try to help you in one way or another. And we look out for each other, which is how we know, stay away from this person, stick with this person, or, you never know.
Like Terry said, you're not going to get every pin, and that sometimes they sell out in 60 seconds or less, right? So with that being said, if you don't get the pin that you wanted, don't take it out on the creator of the pin, because it's not their fault that their artwork and is so, popular that everybody wants this pin.
A lot of the bigger creators have increased their LE size because they are aware that our community is growing. Again, for the smaller ones, they don't have the amount of exposure because they haven't been in the game as long, and they're learning. They're learning a lot every day when it comes to the effects and the amount and the popularity and the artwork. There's just a lot that goes into account. So don't hold it against them. They are not Starbucks. They are not Disney. They are not, I don't know, Best Buy. They're not Fortune 500 companies. They're human beings doing this by themselves for you and for the love of it. So I appreciate you creators. Don't hold it against them. Don't attack them. Wonderful. And number 8, have fun. This is a hobby. Enjoy it.
Yeah. I like that. And I think that's where also like having friends comes into play. You're like, oh yeah, okay. Like, let's trade.
That was our top 8 tips on how to catch a grail. If you have any tips below that you want to add, please do so in the comments. Again, we want to help each other out. I know that there's things that are constantly changing, and we want to get your feedback.
Yeah. We can always use more tips.
Until next time.
We'll see you on our next voyage.
Thanks, guys. Bye.